On March 2nd, 2018, I got tickets to go see a musical, The Addams Family. I invited my brother Miguel on the day of he decided he didn't want to go. So I invited my other brother Jose to go with me. At about 5:30 we left the house. We went to go see it. Halfway through the first act, I noticed that my phone kept going off. It was on silent, it was vibrating. It went off a couple times and I ignored it, but then it kept going off, so I decided to step outside. So I looked through my phone and I noticed that I had missed calls from my mom and a few of my aunts. I got a little worried, so I called my mom and she told me that my brother Miguel was in the ER. So I was a bit concerned, but at the same time, this has happened before, where he'll sneak out of the house, go out with his friends, and he'll like fall off his bike or something. So I just thought it was another case like this. So my brother Jose and I leave the play halfway. We were both a little frustrated because we really were into it. We get to the ER and I noticed that my entire family was there. And then my little cousin comes up to me and he hugs me and he's crying. So I go up to my relatives and they all have tears in their eyes. And at that moment, I knew something was wrong. So my aunt comes up and tells me that my brother Miguel attempted to commit suicide. He had cut up his arms and he was gonna drown himself in the bathtub. At that moment, I just felt like my entire world came crashing down. So I got a chance to go in and see him. I went up to him, he started crying. And I started crying and I hugged him really tight. And it made me realize that I hadn't been there for him. He was always really happy and I never thought this is something that could happen. Never in a million years. I never saw it coming. None of us really saw it coming. I had a chance to see him for a little bit and then my mom arrives. My mom has no idea what's going on. So my aunt tells my mom what happened and I quickly see the expression in her face change. I will never forget that. That was so heartbreaking and that's one thing I will never forget. So we spent that night pretty much at the ER and about 5 in the morning was when we started heading out because he was being extradited over to a rehab facility. So we went home and at the time we were sharing a room and I knew that when I walked into my room, there was gonna be blood everywhere. So as soon as I walk in, I see blood all over my sheets, my carpet, and a few of my shoes. That was very traumatizing for me. That's something that I will never forget. Saturday comes along and he's getting settled into the facility. We don't have a chance to visit him that day because he wasn't available to accept visitors. Saturday night, I went out and I went out for a long drive. It was a late night drive. I just wanted to clear my mind. Looking back, I realized that that was stupid. I wasn't mentally stable that night, and I just remember driving and crying for like the longest time. At one point, I actually thought about driving off of a cliff. I just didn't want to live at that point. So Sunday rolls around and we go visit my brother. I went to go see him and he seemed really sad. He just seemed down. I can tell he had let his emotions out, which is great because he was just bottling it all in. It was so comforting seeing him that day. So during this time period, I put my whole life on hold. I didn't go to school. I stopped going to rehearsals for a play that I was doing at the time, and I stopped filming A Year in the Life. It felt great to just get away from it all and focus on my family. That was something that I feel like I needed. So I heard that there are photos of him in the tub with bloody water all around him. That's something that I chose to this day not to look at, because I feel like this whole experience was traumatizing, super traumatizing, and that would only make it worse. So I know there are photos. I know my mom's seen them, my dad, and my other brother Jose, but I'm the only one that chose not to look at them. Honestly, if it wasn't for him last minute deciding to let his friend know what happened, and his friend calling 911, my brother wouldn't be here. Shout out to his friend, Jonathan Magaya. Fast forward to the following Friday, my brother finally came home, and that's around the time when I started filming again. This was a very happy moment for us. He's finally home.
You know what Tana said? That she took her earphones in.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what would have happened? You would have dropped them. Some girl would have got them and hanged herself.
True.
And she was like, I didn't know. I was going to tell you, but you were hella mad. So I just waited.
But these are for my Adidas pants. They made me take it out. I don't have a string no more for my Adidas pants. I have to put these in.
You gotta take them out?
I have to put these in using like a straw or something. That's what they told me.
Oh, there's a bag right there. That's yours.
Oh, that one?
The Calvin Klein one.
Oh, okay.
It's for you. It's from Mousy and I.
Okay, okay.
I bought you this. I bought you this.
It's not good to use both out.
I bought them because I thought I could take them over there for you. I wasn't sure you had shampoo over there. But they,
there's a string.
But they were like, I don't know, let me in with it.
Oh,
Wow.
It's what?
yeah, man. This is, I thought, Mousy told me this was large. That's why.
No, I got it a little bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's really nice. Oh, you like
Is it? Turn
It
around.
is.
Los Angeles.
Oh, that's nice.
Freaking Kaya.
Oh, freaking Kaya.
So soon. And that one.
Ooh, we're gonna be matching, Miguel.
To be perfectly honest with you guys, if my brother had actually gone through with it and killed himself, I probably would have done the same. I wouldn't be here right now. We're still waiting on my other brother, Mousy.
Mousy's gonna get here really late.
He's gonna get here
What time
late.
does he get home?
He said like
I feel
2:30
bad
or
because
3.
when Mousy gets home, Mousy's gonna get mad at me.
Why?
Because I ate In and Out. He kicked my ass yesterday in the gym. Alright guys, let me say bye. You guys say bye.
Bye.
If you have thoughts or contemplate suicide, just know that you are not alone and you can get help by dialing 1-800-273-8255.